This is the 2024 GMC Sierra 1500 Denali. How does it compare to the all-new 2025 Ram 1500? Hey everybody, it's Tom from Vehicle Visionary. I hope you're having a great day. I don't have the Ram 1500 to compare side by side, but we're going to talk about some of the differences between these two trucks. So make sure to check out the link down in the description of the video if this is a truck you want to buy, to the Mike Morgan Buick GMC website. That way you can get started on buying this model or maybe anything else they may have here in inventory. So let's take a look at what this truck has. As far as the Ram goes, that truck has a very familiar look, but there are a lot of changes. In fact, you'll find something that's somewhat similar here in the fact that the Ram logo is going to be higher up in the grille, like what we have right here with the GMC logo. Both will have forward-facing cameras on the top trim levels. I don't know for sure if the Ram has a camera washer. That's what this is right here. We'll just have to wait and see when I can get my hands on one. Obviously, full LED lighting here with the GMC, LED headlights, LED daytime running lights, and down there on the lower portion of the front bumper, we're going to have the LED fog lights here on the front end. Active air curtains. Kind of surprised those aren't a little bit bigger than what they are, but that's what we have. Some chrome in the right places, not too much, but it seems appropriate with this particular model. Obviously, this truck is four-wheel drive. Let's talk about our tire and wheel size. 275 on the width. We'll have a 50 series sidewall wrapped around the 22-inch wheels. And our side view mirrors. Gonna have quite a bit of lighting on the truck that you can turn on or off, including right here. They are power adjustable, they're power folding, blind spot monitoring built in right here. And when you push the button right here, they power fold. So that's a good thing. Also, both trucks will come with the power assist steps, so that's going to be somewhat similar, but let me show you something here that you have. We'll just open that so you can see those in action one more time. But if you want to gain access to the rear, or excuse me, to the front portion of the bed right here, it'd be kind of hard to reach down in there from this vantage point. Well, right down here on the lower portion of the truck, on the rear of this assist step, is that button you see right there. When I hit that button with my foot, there's what happens. Now I can reach up here, climb up here, and reach into the interior of the bed a lot easier than what I could otherwise. And it does help for me to hit the button right there. Let's see how many times that takes. There we go. Finally, just leave the blooper in there. And we'll have the LED lighting back here and the bed step on each side of the bumper or the corner steps. That's something that's going to be a little bit different. Now, you can use that to gain access to the rear of the bed without actually getting into the bed itself. So there's a benefit. The difference between the two trucks, this is nothing new for 2025 with the Rams, but is that you have the step that's down here underneath the bumper. You can bring that out and kick it. You can basically bring it out with your foot and kick it to make it go back under the bumper. Only on one side, so you have a little bit of a benefit here with both sides on this truck. You also have some lighting here on the rear of the tailgate. You have the exterior lighting up there with the cab light, and you have the lights inside of the bed. Facing forward, that works really well. Let's talk a little bit about something else that will be different here that you'll have here on this GMC. The Multi-Pro tailgate. Now that's going to work as a conventional tailgate for those who may not know. What else does it do? Well, we can bring this area down right here. That can be used as a table. It can also be used as a bed extender. So that's going to be useful, very helpful in a multitude of ways. There's actually two different ways to use that as a bed extender. So let's lower the tailgate down in its conventional fashion, and I'll show you how you can do this with the second option. And that's also a step, so it has its benefits in that respect to being able to get in and out of the bed if you need to do that instead of just reaching inside with some of the features and functionality that are available for that. We have the handle right here to make things easier. We have a total of 3 tie downs in the front, 3 tie downs in the rear on each side for a total of 12, your spray-in bed liner. And we have the power outlet right here. So you're going to find some of those things will also be on the Ram, obviously, as far as the interior of the bed goes. You do also have LED lighting back here. Now, one more thing I want to show you on this tailgate. If you have a hitch in your receiver down there, and let's say that this portion of the tailgate was down and then you lowered the entire tailgate, well, it could potentially damage the tailgate when it hits your trailer hitch down there. Here's how you fix that. You just hold this button down and the lights, you can't really see it right now because the lights are going to flash, but what that would do is allow you, once the lights flash a couple of times, that means this area is locked. You can still lower the tailgate in the conventional manner, but just a nice little area or safety feature that's built in for some peace of mind. And obviously you'll turn it off the same way that you turned it on. And first we'll talk about the GMC and give you the numbers on this particular model. Now, one thing that is going to greatly separate the GMCs and the Rams apart will be the fact that as of 2025, you will not find a Hemi V8 available. You'll only find the 3-liter turbocharged 6 cylinders for the Rams. There are 3 different combinations of horsepower and torque, but in this particular case, you can go with this motor, the 3-liter Duramax diesel that makes 305 horsepower, but a strong 495 pounds-feet of torque. Now let's walk over here. We'll take a look at the window sticker, give you the MPGs, because if I don't give them, somebody's going to ask. 23 city, 27 highway, 24 combined, and 4.2 gallons of gas per every 100 miles driven. Being that it is a diesel engine, we do have the diesel exhaust fluid. Yes, it's unnecessary, but it is here. Here's a little tip for you on that in case you're wondering. How often do you have to refill that? Well, that depends on if you do any towing or not. If you're not towing, probably not too terribly often. If you are towing, you'll go through more of that DEF or diesel exhaust fluid than you will otherwise. But if you're curious, this is a 24-gallon fuel tank. And by the way, this truck does have a 10-speed automatic transmission. And as far as the transmission type goes for the Rams for 2025, across the board, it will be an 8-speed automatic transmission. 3 different power numbers to talk about. In fact, you can go with the 3.6-liter V6. It makes 305 horsepower and 269 pounds-feet of torque. You also have the 3-liter twin-turbo 6-cylinder that puts out, with the standard output, 420 horsepower and 468 pounds-feet of torque. But if that is not enough for you, you also have the high output. The numbers on the high output come in at an impressive 540 horsepower and 521 pounds-feet of torque. And last but not least, let's talk about capabilities. 2,240 pounds of payload with this GMC 1500. Max towing capacity, 13,300 pounds. How does that compare to the Ram for 2025? The payload for the 2500 Ram is 2,300 pounds, and max towing comes in at 11,580 pounds. Both trucks will offer a 12.3-inch digital instrument cluster, but that's where the similarities are going to stop as far as numbers go. Now, we have a landscape view, which means that we're like this instead of vertical with the touchscreen here. This is 13.4 inches. On the Ram, you're going to have 14.5 inches, but the biggest difference will be found in this area right here. At least on the top trim level, the tungsten trim level, you won't have the upper glove box right here. You will actually find a 10.25-inch screen for the passenger. We're getting into Mercedes-Benz territory where that is concerned. Now, I know we don't have the Ram to really look at in person right now. I hope we'll have one soon, but those are the big differences between these trucks. So tell me what your thoughts are. Obviously, there are going to be some differences in prices, but I don't have all of that information as of right now. I think you can count on maybe low to mid 90s, I think, in the range of the Ram. Now, this is not a Denali Ultimate. This is a Denali, just a Denali, if there's such a thing as just a Denali. $77,250 is the price point on this particular model. So those are going to be the primary differences between these two trucks. If you're the purist and you want the V8, which I can't blame you for that, well, obviously the Sierras are going to be the way to go. But if you don't mind the 6-cylinder engines, well, might check out the Rams. Tell me what your thoughts are where all of that is concerned. I do want to say a special thanks to my friends at Mike Morgan Buick GMC for loaning me this truck for the day, and a special thanks to each and every one of you for being kind enough to take the time to watch and give me the opportunity to give you a vision for your next vehicle. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to hit the like button. That helps me out a lot. Make sure to subscribe if you haven't done so just yet. That way you don't miss any future videos. And if you would like to learn about additional vehicles you may wish to consider purchasing, check out the video that's on the screen right now, and I'll see you there.